What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 86 of Park to Prem here with Town or Town. This is the second upload of the day, so, well, if you missed the earlier video, go watch it, otherwise you'll never know who we had a £35 million bid for that I rejected. I'm still not over it. Anyway, today I thought we'd start on the profile of Hugo. Of course, it's a live com double header today, taking on two of our big promotional rivals. We have played 2 games since you were last here. I'm nervous. I'm gonna level with you folks. I am scared. But I thought today we'd start on the profile of Hugo, just to take a look at how he's getting on, because the 25-year-old, I've got to be honest, has improved kind of quite a lot, but under the radar. I didn't really realise how good he'd become until I saw his value at 3.5 million. Bizarrely, I don't actually feel like he's improved a metric ton. You can see here it's just been lots of little improvements, but those little improvements really have made a difference, and I was really just admiring his recent form. You can see here, he's done quite well, hasn't he, over the last 2 years that he's been at the club. But anyway, you're not here to see Hugo. I just wanted a page that wasn't going to reveal too much to start the episode on. You want to see what's happened since you were last here. So, of course, last episode we took on Portsmouth, a 4-3 result in that one. Since then, 2 games in the league, the first of which was against Leicester, a Leicester team who, well, were predicted to do very good things at the start of the year and are right now in a relegation scrap. We beat them 3-1, but that really doesn't tell half the story in this game, because at half-time, Akone had got them ahead via a free kick, and I looked across, the other results going on, and I could see that Bristol City, our big rivals, were losing 2-0 to Leeds United, and we had to turn it around. So, come the 60th minute, I switched to very attacking. I took that early risk, and a flurry of goals followed. Kosic with the initial one from a corner, Shvetsov then with a somewhat fortuitous effort, where the ball kind of just landed at his feet with their keeper already committed to the previous effort. And late on, he got another goal to his name, this time a near-post header via a Needham cross. And 3-1 is how it finished, and, well, Bristol City couldn't resolve their game. They finished 2-0 and lost, and we closed the gap further. Anyway, in our most recent game, we took on Luton Town, a team who have been in a big relegation fight. We've not really done them a favour here. We've put them into the relegation zone in a dominant win, a 5-0 win. Molyneux finally breaking his goal-scoring drought. He had not scored in the previous 9 games in all competitions. A ridiculous drought for a player who was the top goal scorer in the league. He got 2 in this game. He actually missed a penalty in this game as well, before we'd even scored 1. But yes, a flurry of goals to end the first half left us in a really good position, 3-0 up, Shuttleworth with a fantastic solo effort. And in the second half, we got 2 further goals. The first through James Molyneux, and then Collie Sacco just ploughing it into the bottom corner in what was a very, very dominant display. And a rarity, folks, we kept a clean sheet. It's only our 3rd clean sheet in the last 3 months, which isn't the best defensive record, but we're going to let ourselves off the hook a little bit. We've been scoring lots of goals lately. You can see here, looking through the recent results, ever since that Portsmouth game last episode, 2 wins, things suddenly look pretty good when you consider the fact we've only lost 1 of our previous. I'm going to do a quick adding up here and probably add up wrong. I want to say we've only lost 1 of our previous 13 or 14 league games. We're in a good position. We're in promotion form. And, well, defensively, things have got better, if not particularly great. I'll tell you what does make for great reading, though. This overview. Shvetsov has just hit a new level. You might have noticed it just looking at those fixtures. His name just appears everywhere. He is now the 2nd top goal scorer in the league. We have the top 2 goal scorers and the player with the most assists. And, bizarrely, Dazelle still has the highest average rating despite not appearing on either chart. But you can see here Shvetsov and Shuttleworth doing their thing. It's just been another fantastic year here. I know that there's been some concern in the comments about our defence, but ultimately, I feel like any attempt to try and concede fewer is only going to, well, diminish our attacking returns, and we are a team that have just been scoring for fun. We've scored 99 goals in 37 games. The 2nd highest scoring team, Burnley, 73 goals. They've scored 26 fewer goals than us in 37 games. We are a bit of a freak of nature when it comes to goals. Defensively, it's not so great. I mean, Oxford have conceded 100, bless them. We've scored 12 of those goals against them. Defensively, we've not been particularly great, but despite that, because we score so many, we actually have the joint best goal difference in the league right now. Anyway, today we're going to be taking on Bristol City, and following on from that, we're going to jump forward to the Get Match Day against Crystal Palace just 1 week later. You can see a win in our first game against Bristol City could see us move up into the automatic promotion spots with only 8 games left of the year. If we lose this game against Bristol City, we will drop ground on them. They'll go 5 points clear, but their recent form has been very hit and miss. And I feel like we're really starting to find our stride. You know, it's been weird. There's been a period, obviously, where Molyneux's not been scoring, and I've kind of just been jokingly saying in my head, Molyneux, because we've not missed him. There was a period where we did miss him. But Shvetsov has just had this, I don't want to say bizarre run of form, but he's just had this run of form that I couldn't really anticipate. 20 goals, 10 assists, and it's actually beautiful, isn't it, when you look at how many goals our team is scoring. We've got 2 players with 20 plus goals, and just a boat ton of assists and goals shared amongst so many players in the final third. I feel bad for Dylan Turnbull, but he's kind of just become second fiddle to Shvetsov based off recent form. That said, at 18 years old, he's not going to suffer too much from lack of first-team football right now. Of course, worth noting that we are in March, so we are on the cusp of a potential youth intake. If you just look at our youth candidate, look up here, you can see we won't be short of potential centre-backs based on the projected intake. That would be quite good. We've not had a really good defensive prospect come through the team yet in the youth squad. We have at least 2 top prospects in the centre of the midfield and 1 young English central midfielder from Towler who's caught the eye. So I'm a little bit excited. I don't know if we'll see that today. That might be something for next episode. But either way, you know, the youth candidates, they're cooking away in the oven. They're going to be ready soon. It'll be interesting to see when they are ready how good they could be. But anyway, there's no more delaying to do. There's no more stalling. We've only played 2 games since you were last here. So we can get straight into this game against Bristol City. Now, yes, we are at home for this game. Last time we played them a 2-2 draw. I would argue that we should be favourites for this game based off recent form. And the bookies agree. They are backing us to win this game and go top. What is a lovely sight, by the way, is when you look at our team here, just the green links between all of our players, and also this sea of green in terms of average ratings and recent form. Defensively, we've been really good. You can see just in the last 5 games between Reyes, Williamson, Hugo, and Mr. Dessers, they're doing their thing. And well, Mr. Dessers, I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. He's crept into the season preview best right back in the league, and suddenly we have 4 players in the media Dream 11, which is really cool. Smoljo, Mr. Dessers, Shvetsov and Kosic. And when you consider that, well, the 3 players who are actually contracted to us are all 20 years old or younger, it feels good. And when you look at the key players and you see Shvetsov here, it feels really good. Just interestingly, something I didn't mention before is the fact that in January, there were a load of massive sales. In fact, if we sort by sales here, you can see some of the players that left. Some of these did happen over the summer where they've left various clubs. You can see, I didn't realise Leeds United spent £55 million on a player. That is mad money, although he does look very good. 55 million, that's crazy. But yeah, Brahim Diaz was sold to Newcastle. Bielik was sold to Fulham. You can see just some of these sales going on for 40, 30 million pounds. So just some ridiculous money for championship players. I feel like we've been missing out a little. We don't have that kind of money to exchange. Although, I guess we would do if Mr. Dessers had been sold. But alas, that's the last bit of stalling I'm going to do. We're going to get into today's game. Worth noting that just through circumstance, the fact that Eric is unavailable, Gerardo Bravo, you might remember him, that young striker who we signed from the Batman team, and I've kind of not really mentioned his name a great deal, but he has improved a lot this year. He sneaks onto the bench. Don't expect to see him today, but if we get desperate, we might call upon him. His lack of consistency does leave me scared. I'm going to level with you. But anyway, we're going to go into this game, and I'm going to just tell the players to keep this run going. I feel like we are performing really, really well. I think a thing that has really helped our form recently has been the improvement overall in defensive performances. We've not been keeping as many clean sheets as I would like, but we have been more solid defensively, and obviously Shvetsov has just kind of gone nuclear recently. He's just hit this whole level of form I wasn't really expecting. Anyway, Kosic cutting inside. A bit of an unsung hero, Kosic. He's been getting goals as well this year. He's in double figures. Dessers with it here on the right. Goes back to Collie Sacco. Back to Dessers. Dinked wide to Kosic. Should be able to pass this across. He does. Shuttleworth's there. And 5 minutes into this game, we find ourselves a goal ahead. And that is kind of the dream start, isn't it? That is exactly what we needed in this game. At home, we're the favourites. I feel like always that pressure that if we don't score immediately, we could be in trouble. But we've got the early goal here. Shuttleworth gets it past Pring, and he takes a massive L. He's a Pringle, because we're going 1-0 up. That was awful. We've got another chance as well. 5 minutes in? Ray's the left back, throws it into Shvetsov. Ray's, can you get it into the mixer? He can. It's headed away to Andre Dazelle. Shuttleworth could find Mr. Dessa. Can he tuck it away? He should be scoring that. Instead, he's kicked it straight at the keeper. I guess when it's your right back, you can't back him too much, but that was a clear-cut opportunity, a great chance. We do have a set piece here, though. Ball whipped in towards Shvetsov. He couldn't find a header goalwards. Back wide to Dazelle. Played across. Shvetsov. That was never going near, was it? It's deflected off the defender and gone out for another corner. We've had 79% of possession in the first 6 minutes. It would be safe to say we've come out on top, and while Molyneux's, I don't want to say it was a free header, but it was an open header. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite get it on target. But 11 minutes gone, things are looking good. But a set piece here that we do need to deal with. And Rick Vischer, who is that big key player, he's a Dutch player. A player who I actually scouted, I think, last year. My scouts threw up and said, he's very, very good. We're now finding out directly. He is very, very good. Thank you, my scouts, for recommending players I can't afford, who are then going to score against me and I'm aware of. But on the volley, tidy finish, Smoljo at full extent. I don't think we can blame him for that one. That is just a really good finish in the end. And well, we'll hope that that's not going to dent our confidence too much, because we started this game really well and he could be through again. In fact, it's Armstrong, and Adam Armstrong gets a quick 1-2 gut punch. They've had 2 chances, Bristol City, 2 breakaways, and they've punished us, and that kind of sucks. Another kind of, I don't think you can call this a set-piece goal really, but another time where our defenders have just shut off a little bit. We've been better defensively recently, and we've just shown none of that in the first 15 minutes here. They've been tested twice, and twice we failed. Going to get a bit shouty with the players here early on. We are still playing well, though, you know. I know that's kind of weird to say, having conceded 2, but we are creating stuff going forward. It's not like we're being completely outclassed here in the first half. Really would like a goal before half-time to make this 2-2. That would make me feel a little nervous. Pring, with this goal kick, he's going to lump it forward. Can our defence do better this time? That's the question. This is the kind of game where we can't really afford to not turn up, and we do look a little questionable defensively right now. Race, though, nice header won. Kosic now with it. A little bit central for him, although I guess he is the inverted winger, so he is going to find himself in those places from time to time. Speaking of the devil, here he is again, playing it to Andre Dazelle. He goes wide to Kosic. Reyes has made the run down the line. Playing the ball around the back here. We need to be wary not to get caught out like that. Armstrong dispossesses Williamson. Could be through on goal. Smoljo, what a save that is! Tips it round the post in the one-on-one, completely abandoned by his defence, and I'll be honest, they are racking up the clear-cut chances and half chances now. Corner is dealt with by Hugo. Shvetsov, lovely tackle, that'll do us. I talked about wanting to go in at the break, maybe grabbing a late goal. At this point, I'll happily take 2-1. I feel like this is one of those chances where sometimes in Football Manager, your players, they don't quite turn up. And it isn't necessarily a system thing. It's purely the fact they're not playing well. And a team talk in this kind of game can just make the world of difference to make all those players on 6.5s, I'm looking at you, Collie Sacco, kind of turn up big in the second half with the right words whispered in their ears. A draw here wouldn't be the end of the world, but knowing that we've got Crystal Palace, who currently sit in 4th behind us, would make things tricky. Molyneux's been poor, and I'm going to make an early decision that might seem controversial and at the start of the season probably would have been unheard of. I'm going to take him off and bring in Dylan Turnbull for the fresh legs, for that added edge of pace. We've got another set piece to deal with here. Smoljo, you beautiful man. He doesn't get enough credit, Smoljo. That's another superb save that he's held on to this time from the set piece. And, well, he throws out to Andre Dazelle. Surely this can't be the start of a chance. I want to believe. Turnbull could be through. He hits it out Pring. Would Molyneux have scored it? We'll never know. Molyneux probably doesn't get the ball there because of the whole game plays out differently. But that was a great opportunity. And, I don't know. I feel like Shvetsov definitely scores that with his recent form. Dylan Turnbull, a great opportunity coming his way, but he hasn't taken it. We will have to hope that we don't live to regret that. I've got a couple more subs that I could look to make. We've got a set piece here. Andre Dazelle whips it in. Hugo's under it. Heads it just over the crossbar. That was not far away at all. Another great little chance going our way. I'm going to move Shuttleworth out onto the left. And I'm going to bring in Blesser out on the right. Shvetsov's not turned up. And I'm very, very tempted just to play Bravo. Would it be mad to give the 18-year-old a chance in this game? Maybe. But I fancy it. I can't tell you why. I feel like it's the right thing to do at this point. So we're going to bring him in. Oh, bravo. If you score now, you'll become a fan favourite instantly. Williamson, the centre-back, dips it forward. Bless us there. Can't get to it. Turnbull, though, holds on to the ball. We're going to go all the way back to Reyes here. Now Dazelle. Mr. Dessa dinks it. Bravo's offside, I think. He's tucked it away. I don't think it's going to count. It's not. The linesman has decided he doesn't like fairy tales. Bravo isn't allowed to have his happily ever after. You can see there, I knew it was offside before he scored it. But a good finish, to be fair. On the half volley, that's a not easy chance. Andre Dazelle, out on the right-hand side, whip it in, back post. Bravo's under it. He's hit the woodwork this time. I mean, he's having an immediate impact, but it's not the goal that we crave. I'm going to have to go very attacking here, aren't I? 10 minutes left. We need that goal. We're knocking on the door. Is anyone going to open it for us? Reyes, Sacco, working the ball at the back. Can we get it forward here? I feel like Bravo's... There's something about this man. He's got an energy about him, an aura about him. Anyway, Williamson with the ball. Goes to Reyes. Shuttleworth now out on this left-hand side, it's worth noting. Williamson gives it to Reyes again. They're having their own little game at the back, but we do need to get it forward here. Time is of the essence. That's the kind of ball we need. And bravo! What is that ball by Ronnie Williamson? It's like he could hear me. Do I stay on very attacking? Is that greedy? A draw doesn't really help us. A win makes the world a difference. I mean, Bravo scored. Let's give it to him. The 18-year-old on his debut. I've thrown him in at the deep end. He's hit the woodwork. He's had a goal disallowed for offside. And finally, he gets his name on the score sheet. Maybe I should be playing him more. We've got too many strikers here at Town Law. It's quite a good problem to have. I'm going to stay on very attacking, which might be mad. But I don't know. I feel like the momentum is with us. There's another highlight playing with 2.5 minutes left. I mean, give it to Williamson and let him boot it forward. That's what I've learnt. Sacco plays it to Shuttleworth. Now with Reyes at left-back, who dinks it forward to Dylan Turnbull. Bravo's in the middle. Bravo's there. His effort's blocked. That was a great opportunity. A clear-cut opportunity at that. And he couldn't beat his man. And we're going to have to settle for the draw. You know what? I feel like we could have won that on another day with some of the chances we had late on. Although, you know, Bristol City had chances themselves. A draw is not the worst result. It definitely does pile a little bit of pressure on us for the second game of today's episode. We're going to be taking on Crystal Palace. They were originally one of the favourites for promotion. You can see they now only sit 2 points behind us, and they will feel like if they can beat us, they're in the promotion hunt as well. They've won 4 of their last 4, or 4 of their last 5, but 4 of their last 4 sounds more scary. And, well, we're going to go forward to that game now. It's going to be a big one. It's in a week's time. We're going to go lay down, get some rest. Maybe we'll have a youth intake in between. If we do, we'll report on that. But, yeah, we're going to go forward. I'm nervous. Let's just get into this. No messing around. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second game of today's episode against Crystal Palace. We have no one missing, which is absolutely fantastic. I did notice that Zagre, who has 14 assists for them from left back, he's one of the highest assisters in the league, he's suspended. So that's a pretty big miss for Crystal Palace going into this game. Of course, you can see in the other game going on that we're really interested in, Bristol City taking on Luton. Luton, we beat 4-0. Recently, Crystal Palace beat them 1-0, so can't really expect much from them here. And, well, following on from this game, worth noting that there will only be 7 games left of the season. And just to quickly preview who those 7 games are against, we have Sheffield Wednesday in 16th. Nottingham Forest in 5th is not going to be easy. Huddersfield in 17th, Wigan in 19th, Preston in 18th, Reading in 22nd, and then Burnley. So really, with the exception of the game against Nottingham Forest and the game against Burnley, we should be getting wins in all these other games comfortably. Unfortunately, that's not really been the story of this season so far, so we can't rely on that too much. Just to look at Crystal Palace and also Bristol City, because it is worth, just looking at who they've got to play. Crystal Palace, after they play us today, they've got to play Portsmouth, who you might remember when we played them not that long ago at all. They were in the playoffs. They're now down in 11th, so they've really fallen off the pace. They have got Leeds United to play, Bristol City to play. That could be a very, very big game. And then they've got an easier run to the end of the year. They're taking on, in fact, their final 4 games against teams in the bottom 5. So, really, we could do with them slipping up in these next few, Crystal Palace. As for Bristol City, just to have a quick look and round this off, you can see they've got Nottingham Forest to play, they've got Derby to play, they've got Palace to play. I'm looking at these now thinking that we've got easier matches. Birmingham, Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea. So all of us have kind of easy ends to the year. Obviously we have Burnley. If possible, it would be good if we are going to wrap up second place to do it before that Burnley game. Otherwise it might get a little nervous. I imagine that next episode will be some form of end of season live com. It might be just the Burnley game, it might be a few more, depending on what's on the line and when. But obviously this game here is going to feed a lot into exactly what is going on. And well, the team selection is relatively straightforward. I'm not going to change a thing. I'm going to keep my faith in Shvetsov and Molineux. I am going to switch Shvetsov to a poacher. I've been experimenting with him as a pressing forward. He's done quite well in that role, to be fair. It's a role that you might remember seeing Dylan Turnbull playing in when he's played that left striker role. But I've been alternating between a poacher and advanced forward. I'm not really settled on one or the other. I feel like they've both worked reasonably well. But yeah, team news, no injuries to speak of. And that is something that we've actually been very, very fortunate with this year, as we've not had a great deal of injuries. QS now getting a load in this match here. That's probably what will happen. But of course, we, despite our lack of injuries, didn't do well against Palace last time we met them. They humiliated us 3-0 away from home. This is the game where we really can't afford to lose it 3-0, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they would go ahead of us if they do that. Worth noting, Crystal Palace, again, they've got Ronaldo Vieira in midfield. You might remember we had his brother Romario playing for us. Anyway, Molineux clean through on goal and dribbles it straight into the keeper. That is such a good chance. He's just, I don't want to say he's lost his X factor, Molineux, but he has definitely, he's missing chances that he didn't miss before, is probably the best way of describing it. We'll hope that he can turn up today as the game's going on, of course. I am putting quite a lot of faith in him still. There was a little period where I played Turnbull. Oh my, well, he's been gifted one there, hasn't he? We'll take that. James Molineux, great finish, never doubted him. That is a horrific defensive mistake. One that I would not be surprised to see us making, to be fair. Jamie Shackleton with a ton of pressure put on him, played it back to Comer, played it across his 18-yard box. Molineux was there sniffing out the opportunity. 22nd goal of the year. And what I was going to say is the fact that Molineux, for a brief period, we did exclude from the starting 11, and I thought when he missed that initial one-on-one, I was going to be regretting starting him over, say, Turnbull, but he's made amends there, albeit through a bit of a gift of a goal. Anyway, 4 minutes gone. We can't get too carried away. Last time we took on Crystal Palace, we conceded 3. Of course, they are without their star left-back this year, so that might be an issue for them. I say this year, this match specifically. He was a problem for us, I remember, last time we played them, Zagreb. That's definitely not how you say his name. Mr. Dessa, what are you doing for us at fullback? £35 million, Mr. Dessa, to give him his full title. Dozel plays it forward. Shvetsov, lovely touch, breaks through. Can the Russian tuck this away? It deflects to Molineux. This is feeling like the Burnley game at the moment. We need a few more before we can get too carried away, but that is another fortuitous goal, really. Shvetsov, lovely penetrating run through the middle. Dozel played it forward. Shvetsov takes it round one man, pulls one of the centre-backs across. The shot is blocked. And Molineux's just in the right place at the right time, isn't he? That attacking instinct to just be where the ball is going to fall before it falls there. He tucks it away. 2 goals up. It's good so far. I don't want to get carried away, but it's good so far. Of course, I didn't really mention it at the time, but that 2-2 draw we had previously against Bristol City is the exact same result we had against them in the reverse fixture. Molineux, looking for his hat-trick, does in fact attempt to square it. Mr. Dessa could get it in. Shvetsov's there, it's blocked. Kosic is there. It's 3-0 after 12 minutes. What is this goal scoring this year? This is absolutely insane. We just create so much. We look so good going forward. My biggest concern is that we definitely can't do this in the Premier League. I want to say we definitely can't do this in the Premier League. If we do get promoted, we will try and do it in the Premier League. I'm not sure it's going to be as successful away from home against Man City. That would be my primary concern. Now, Lavera, ball forward. Williamson wins the header. Now with Mucci, who hits it just wide of the post. I said Mutri, it's Mokri or Motri. I don't know. I tried to say that name. No, okay, stop the pun. Bristol City scored when I made that pun. That is not a coincidence. I noticed there it's saying we slipped down to third. Anyway, Kosic bringing it forward, puts in a slide tackle, which was a little interesting. I was worried for a second he was going to just catch the defender from behind and get a really random red card, but that's not the case. Big ball down the middle. We kind of deal with that. It's gone all the way to Smoljo. Where are you going, Smoljo? He's going wide to Mr. Dessa. The Croatian internationals linking up. Now with Shuttleworth, who dinks it down the line to Molyneux. Shvetsov's lurking. He's there. So's Kosic, mind you. On the volley. Oh, my word, Vinko. What are you doing? 16 for the year from out on the left-hand side. I was anticipating a header. He did one better than that. The technique on that volley. My word, Molyneux with the assist, dinking it to that back post and on his right foot into the top corner. Wearing that number 7 shirt, wear it with pride, my friend. You are just our star winger. I realise that number 7 is normally your right winger. He started out on the right, he moved over to the left. Unfortunately, Bristol City going 2-0 up against, well, relegation threatened Luton isn't entirely surprising, but the main thing is here that we are getting a good result that at the very least I think is not going to mathematically guarantee us, but should all but assure a playoff spot this year. Which if you told me at the start of the year that's what we would be fighting for, probably would have bitten your hand off. Still time though in this game as Smoljo collects it. We can't get too carried away just yet. Still lots of time in this game. It's now with Kosic who dinks it forward to Shvetsov. I mean, Molyneux wants the hat-trick. Can you pick him out? Goes back to Reis. Back with Shvetsov. Kosic hits it. What lovely build-up play. He was offside, I think, Shvetsov there, so it wouldn't have counted. Although, a highlight's going to start immediately. Again, there's highlights galore right now. Let's hope this isn't going to be us conceding one, though. Ball gifted to Mr. Dessa, who's going to give it back to Hugo. Now with Andre Dazelle. Whenever the ball goes to Dazelle, you expect some insane pass from deep. He's like a quarterback for us. He just pings the ball wherever it needs to go, doesn't he? That's kind of his game. Anyway, Hugo dinks it wide to Shuttleworth. He plays it down to Molyneux's channel. Can he get through? He can. Can he tuck it away? He can't. Kicks it straight at the keeper in pink. I don't know why I've identified the keeper being in pink. It's a nice shade of pink, mind you. Not really a salmon. A proper pink. I don't know where I'm going with this. Shuttleworth. Andre whips in. Shvetsov free-header straight at the keeper again. This could have been more than 4-0 at half-time, which feels mad to say, but look at it. 5 clear-cut chances, 2 half chances. This isn't like us fluking it. We are bullying this promotion favourite side. And I know they're not at full strength, but come on, give us some credit. This is absolutely insane. Shvetsov, ball dinked over to him, bends it round the keeper. That is a nuts finish. It's 5-0. Mr. Dessa, what a ball. Shvetsov, what a finish. How did he manage that? Look at it. Mr. Dessa just lumps it down. Shvetsov, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, bends it in. Oh, you love to see it. This game should be over now at 5-0. I know I've said throughout this season at various points at 4-1 I feel a little nervous. It's 5-0 here. I should feel fairly assured at this point. But I also know what we can do defensively as Ramsey puts the ball forward to Juan Hernandez, or Chicho as he's known. He got a few against us last time we played him, didn't he? 5-1. Suddenly it doesn't feel quite as good. His 20th goal of the year, so he is one of the top goal scorers in the division. Interesting to note that Kane Ramsey, who I assume is filling in at left back as the backup, is the man getting forward to get the assist there. It's 5-1. I don't need to panic. Don't be ridiculous, Jack. Shuttleworth, get 6 before half-time. Why not? Whipped in, headed away. Oh no. Oh no, don't make it 5-2 before half-time. Suddenly I can't be as smug. We beat Oxford United 8-1 earlier on this year. I didn't think that was going to be matched. We're not a million miles away from it here. I mean, if we mirrored the result in the second half, it'll finish 10-2. Obviously, that's not how these things work. But if it was, it'd be 10-2. Kosic, what can you do? Back to Reis. Now with Kosic again. Can't get the ball in. Falls to Sacco. Only 30 seconds left of the half. Hugo, where are you going to go? He goes wide. Gives it straight to them. But Reis with it again. What is this highlight? Are we going anywhere? Are we going to have a late chance to end the half? Sacco spreads it wide to Shuttleworth. Mr. Dessa on the overlap. Molyneux there. Squares it to Shuttleworth. What a beautiful goal. That movement is superb. And in a game where the pressure is very much on us, we score 6.5. Absolutely insane. The movement there by Mr. Dessa makes a lovely run. The ball through, though, Molyneux, and then Shvetsov is just on his tippy toes. He's ready to go. Turns on the afterburners. Insane acceleration to get on the end of that. 6-1 at half-time. We have 3 players looking for hat-tricks. Let's hope they don't get too greedy there. Very happy with how things are going. I mean, that's very satisfying, isn't it? You can see here Kostic with 2, and then the 2 strikers, both with 2 goals and 2 assists each. Is it bad that I'm tempted to go and very attacking and try and get a few more? Would that be silly? I'm doing it. I've had a rush of blood to the head, everyone. I want more than 8 goals. That's the aim. I probably could make some changes here, you know, just to save some legs. I'm going to bring in Diawara for Sacco. Reyes at left back will take off, and we'll bring in Jimmy Morrison. Jimmy Morrison doesn't really get mentioned a lot. He's another Northern Irish defender, a bit like Williamson, but he's a left-footed player who can also play centre-back. Definitely one who I've got my eye on for the future. He's made the odd appearance here and there. We'll give him a chance at left-back. There he is, taking the throw in. Kostic with it, back to Jimmy. What can you do, Jimster? Whips it in. Oh, I thought Shuttleworth was going to get on the score sheet. We do now need to transition defensively, as it's a 2-on-2. Motri with it. Plays it to Hernandez. Lavera, lovely build-up play, to be fair to them. The effort goes wide. That was quite nice. I'm going to demand more from the players. If Smolyo feels pressured, bless him. Someone give him a cuddle, please. It's 6-1, Smolyo. Get your act together. Diawara to Shvetsov. Molyneux. Can he get past his man? He doesn't. He passes it to Kostic really unselfishly, and Kostic, unfortunately, can't get his hat-trick. Had a lot more time than I think he realised there, unfortunately. Diawara whips it back post. Header for Molyneux for his hat-trick. All the hat-trick opportunities being squandered here right now. We've only got 20 minutes left. This second half's been boring. I wanted 9-1. I wanted us to beat our Oxford result. Ronaldo Vieira, he's going to be having nightmares about this. I can imagine the banter in the Vieira household when they go home and have a meal together, him and Romario. Romario, the former Toulon player, I want to believe in my heart he would mock his younger brother for this result and this performance. I can envisage it in my head. Anyway, 15 minutes left here. There's just so many highlights. We've had 8 clear-cut chances here. This genuinely could have been 10-0. I mean, it still could be. Let's not get too carried away. Like Molyneux bursts through. Could he score a fantastic goal for the hat-trick? No, he cannot. He kicks it straight at the keeper and it hits him in the face. Goes out for a corner. Just highlight after highlight after highlight. Shuttleworth with a free header at the near post heads it over. What a crazy game of football this has been. This has been a bizarre one, but I'm not going to complain one little bit. Would I say this is the best result of the season? I think after they humiliated us last time we played them in a live com, it might well be. Molyneux, Frederic Shetsov should score it, does score it. Lovely goal for his 24th of the season. And Molyneux gets his hat-trick of assists there. You love to see it. How is Shvetsov not in the Russia national team? Can someone ring up the Russia national team coach and have a word with him? Because I think it's a disgrace. Molyneux, lovely ball through, by the way. Shvetsov just using that pace to get in behind and then just a low-driven shot. It's games like this, performances like this that make me sit here and think, we really should be getting promoted this year. It wouldn't be a fluke. There are just teams that we are able to bully, and a lot of it comes down to our firepower up front. Shvetsov's through again. He wants 4. Can he get it? He can't this time. The keeper saves it. I don't know if he had the opportunity to pass it there to Molyneux to return the favour, but, well, he went alone. Not for me to really criticise. It's going to finish 7-1 here. What an insane result. Well, I'll tell you now, when I hit start recording for this second match of the episode, was not expecting that. That is just absolute madness. What a crazy result. 7-1. 7th heaven, that's not as catchy, is it? Wow. I feel bad. Is it bad that it's not even like I don't feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for Palace. What a result. We ruined their goal difference. We held ours a ton. And despite having, well, a lot of goals conceded for this year, we're not very good defensively. Make no mistake. In fact, well, we now have the best goal difference. We have the third most goals conceded. But our goals scored kind of makes up for it just a little bit. You can see with that result, we are now still 2 points behind Bristol City because unfortunately they did win. But we do pull 5 points clear of Crystal Palace and also 14 points clear of Derby County, which, as I mentioned before, should just about, with 7 games left, guarantee us a playoff spot. Anyway, in terms of next episode, it's obviously kind of difficult to know what to expect. We've pulled away from Crystal Palace, which is huge. Obviously, we know that Bristol haven't been superb as of late, and they have got, a few tricky games against some big clubs. I think next episode we'll be coming back for, the last 3 or 2 or however many games feels necessary, games of the year, but do not be surprised to see us go second in the league at this point. I'm not getting carried away, but I do feel like Bristol City should be slipping up sooner rather than later, whilst, well, hopefully we can go from strength to strength with a few slightly easier games compared to them. But yeah, we'll be back next episode on Sunday. It'll be the end of season live com. Hopefully you're excited for it. It's been a little while since we had a season really go down to the wire. This is going to be that one though. It feels inevitable at this point, and it's kind of exciting the way it's come about. But anyway, I've rambled on for long enough today, folks. Let me know what you made of this episode and those performances. That second game was crazy. Bit disappointing we couldn't put in a similar performance against Bristol City. But you know what? I'm not going to complain a great deal about winning one of these games 7-1. We look good. Promotion feels possible. I'll see you tomorrow. It's me, Jack, and I'm out.